Hi guys, Helga from Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking Homestead here, and today I'm going to make a common thing, but we're going to dress it up a little bit special for Easter. I'm making deviled eggs, only they're going to be colored deviled eggs in Easter colors. It's a fun way to dress them up for the holiday, and you can do this with other colors for other holidays too. But I'll also show you how to make my deviled eggs, which I like mine a little bit more zippier. I hate bland deviled eggs. So mine have a little bit of the devil in them, or as my mom wants to call them, angel eggs. And maybe that's right too, because hey, they're heavenly. So I'm going to get to it. I'll show you how I actually make the eggs, and we'll color them and get them all filled up and ready to go. These Easter dishes are part of an Easter collaboration with Teresa's Stay-at-Home Life. I'm going to include her channel down below. Her channel is somewhat new and still small, starting out. But if you like my channel, you'll love her channel. She's really awesome. She's been doing a lot of baking over there. She's done a lot of dinner ideas. But I've really been enjoying her bread and roll videos too. Kaiser rolls and the whole deal. So we decided to do an Easter collaboration together. We're each doing 3 dishes, and so this is part of that. And like I said, I'm going to have my own playlist and I'll add hers to it, and vice versa. Go check her out, Teresa's Stay-at-Home Life. You won't regret it. You're going to hear a million ways on how to do hard-boiled eggs and how to get them to shell nicely. And number one, I don't start with a fresh egg. I always keep some of my hen eggs in there, a couple weeks old, and that's because fresh eggs are harder to do for hard-boiled eggs to get them to shell nicely. The second thing is after I boil them, I immediately put them in ice water and ice them down, and I let them sit there and totally cool off that way. Probably an hour, at least an hour. I just go about doing other things and come back to them later, and by doing that I always get a really nice clean hard-boiled egg like that. So that's all there is. I mean, I know other people talk about baking them, and because you can put them in the oven and you can do them that way, and that's okay, but yeah, I really like this way the best. I think shocking them, when you take them from being hot and you shock them, the egg contracts inside after having been expanded and pulls away from the shell and the membrane, making it much more easy to peel. So that's my theory on the science on why it's foolproof to do them this way and not have any issues in peeling them. Ouch. It'd help if I had nails. So as you can see, here you go. No issue in peeling them whatsoever. I'm going to get these finished peeled, and then we'll make up the middles. Next part's pretty simple. We're just cutting our eggs lengthwise and cutting out the yolks. And I'm going to put the white halves aside because we're going to be coloring those as soon as we get our yolks out. Whoop, runaway egg. Love the color on these. You can't beat home, farm fresh, free range chicken eggs. You just can't. I'm only making a half batch here because I'm just doing enough to fill up my egg plate. So, but you want them creamy. So I'll add that much. That's mayo. This is a sweet and sour, spicy mustard, which helps give it some zing. This is horseradish. Yes, my eggs have horseradish. I like to have them a little zippy, Some people put hot sauce in them. I mean, that's a great thing about these eggs. You can do them however you want to do them. And this is a little bit of bacon bits and onion seasoning. And I don't use much of this because a little bit goes a long way. So let's mix this up and see how I like it. If I want it to be a little creamier, I'll add a little bit more and see how it looks. Okay, I have them all mixed up. And this is what it looks like from the consistency. It's not perfectly smooth because we have the bacon bits and the horseradish in there. And you don't have to do this. I mean, most people just plop them in the eggs. But since I'm trying to make them look kind of pretty, I'm going to fill my... this is actually a cake decorator and cookie press and all of that all in one. And I'm going to fill this up. And that's what we're going to fill our eggs with. And after I get this filled up, then we're going to color the eggs. And we'll fill them after they've been colored and sat and absorbed the color. So, in half a cup of water, I have green, red, and blue food coloring. And the next part's easy. You go plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Let them in there a couple minutes. Make sure they sink so they start really coloring. Okay. So, they haven't been in that long. You see, they turn pretty quick. And the thing of it is you know, you can have them in for as little or as long as you want to make them as light or as dark as you want. So, I think you can see them there. We're going to dump in another set. And while they're taking on their color, I figured you might want to know a little factoids, because you know how I am about history of food. And believe it or not, deviled eggs actually go all the way back to the early Romans. And they started boiling them, and they would serve them with oil and pepper and whatnot. And then they started to travel. And in the 5th century AD, they started moving around, and they later appeared as stuffed eggs in Andalusia, which is now Spain. And there they actually had them pound the egg yolks with cilantro, onion juice, pepper, and coriander to make a sauce. And by the 15th century, stuffed eggs had made their way across much of Europe with numerous stuffings. However, the first known use of deviled eggs actually came into Britain in 1786, and those eggs were referred to devil as any spicy food was referred to as deviled in Britain back in the late 1700s, I guess. And so if you stuffed these eggs with spicy stuffings, they then became deviled eggs. So that's how we got deviled eggs. I'm sure you feel much better knowing all about that and how we got them. But I always like to know how we end up with the names that we do of our food and where they come from, and I always find that interesting. I'd like to know not only what we're eating and what goes into it, but why we're eating it and why it's called that and the culture behind it. Now look how fast those red ones are turning. So if I want that more pink, doing it like that. I'm going to turn these over so the insides totally drain out. Like that. The blue takes the longest. Green goes pretty quickly. Aren't they cute? Okay, now the stuffing time. Let's put a dollop in. See how nice and non-messy that is. Makes them all pretty. Fill them all nice and good. There we go. So there they're all filled. Then all I do is I Take a little sprinkle of paprika. And the only reason I do that is, oh, my mom always did, and I like the taste of paprika. And then for a little bit of a garnish, a little bit of parsley. And there you have deviled eggs done up for Easter. Like I said, you can do them in other colors for other holidays, or as my mom calls them, angel eggs. So you know what comes next. We're going to do the taste test and see how they are. For example, if you wanted to dress it up, there you could dress it up like that. Some grass and stuff in the middle. Alright, so down to business. How do they taste? Ooh. Mmm. Mmm. Oh, they taste so good. Definitely good. Mmm. They taste Moorish. You know, like, you gotta have some more. There might be a few left when Mike gets home. They're really good. Having that spicy, sweet and sour, sweet and spicy mustard and the horseradish just gives it a little extra kick, and you can dial that up or down as much as you like. Like I said, some people put hot sauce in. I don't like bland eggs. I know some friends, they just add mayo and it's just like, blah. I mean, they're okay, but it doesn't enhance the yolk flavor, and I like really to bring that out. This really brings that out and just makes it really savory and yummy. So, there you go. Deviled eggs for Easter or any other time. Like I said, have fun dressing them up and doing different colors and stuff. I think it's fun. So, and since you eat with your eyes, it's fun to make it pretty. So, that's it for this time. Till next time, join me with the old recipes, and bye.